For centuries, man has been intrigued by the moon's changing face. Sometimes it's high in the sky. Some nights it's a sliver. And other times, it disappears completely. But this cycle becomes predictable as the moon's phases repeat every month. The Sumerians, Chinese, and Babylonians depended on the moon's cycle to determine their days, months, and years. And the moon's phases still mark the beginnings of Jewish and Muslim holidays. So what causes the moon to have phases? And why is its cycle consistent? Phases represent the illuminated portion of the moon that we see from Earth. As the moon begins to orbit Earth, the sun's light reflects off the moon, causing a different portion to glow. The moon has four main phases. New, first quarter, full, and last quarter. It takes about 1 week for the moon to change from one of these phases to another. In between, the moon is either a crescent, which means it's less than half full, or gibbous, which is more than half full. When the moon appears to be growing, we say that it is waxing. If it appears to be getting smaller, it is waning. During a full moon, if the moon, Earth, and sun align, and the moon passes through the Earth's shadow, a lunar eclipse will occur. But since the moon's orbit is inclined about 5 degrees to Earth's, the moon normally passes either above or below the Earth. The best time to observe the moon is during its quarter phases, because the terminator, which is the line that separates light from dark, dramatizes the moon's surface features. You'll be able to see mountains, craters, and scarps in the most contrast and sharpest relief.
The Supermoon of May 2012, presented by Science at NASA. The full moon has a reputation for trouble. It raises high tides, it makes dogs howl, it wakes you up in the middle of the night with beams of moonlight stealing through the drapes. If a moonbeam wakes you up on the night of May 5, 2012, you might want to get out of bed and take a look. This May's full moon is a supermoon, as much as 14% bigger and 30% brighter than other full moons of 2012. The scientific term for the phenomenon is perigee moon. Full moons vary in size because of the oval shape of the moon's orbit. The moon follows an elliptical path around Earth with one side, perigee, about 50,000 kilometers closer than the other, apogee. Full moons that occur on the perigee side of the moon's orbit seem extra big and bright. Such is the case on May 5th at 11:34 p.m. Eastern Daylight Time, when the moon reaches perigee. Only 1 minute later, the moon will line up with the Earth and the sun to become gloriously full. The timing is almost perfect. Okay, the moon is 14% bigger than usual, but can you really tell the difference? It's tricky. There are no rulers floating in the sky to measure lunar diameters. Hanging high overhead with no reference points to provide a sense of scale, one full moon can seem much like any other. The best time to look is when the moon is near the horizon. For reasons not fully understood by astronomers or psychologists, low-hanging moons look unnaturally large when they beam through trees, buildings, and other foreground objects. On May 5th, this moon illusion will amplify a full moon that's extra big to begin with. The swollen orb rising in the east at sunset will seem super indeed.